Hello friends, it's Jackie Williams, and today I want to share with you another little project using the Artistically Asian stamp set. This project is inspired by a number of samples that I've seen online and in person, and I thought I would just kind of combine the best of the best and create a fun little project for you today. So let's start out just building the card base. The colors we're using, I'll just set that there, are Smoky Slate, Rich Raspberry, then Basic Black, and Whisper White. Oops, grab the correct one. So we'll start first by stamping the words in the corner, bottom right-hand corner of the white front panel, and I'll use the Memento Black for that. Of course, you can use any words you want, but I thought I'd use some ones that I haven't used yet today. Okay, so just like that. And then we will do some very simple taping of the black twine around to the back, if I can find the end. Oh, there it is. These cards using the Artistically Asian set, I've kept somewhat clean looking, just because I think that goes with the particular style of this theme. So I'm just going to wrap those around, and I'll use a bit of the tear and tape. And just tape that, and then pull these tight. I'm just going to eyeball it from this side, and hopefully it will work on the other side. There, that's pretty good. And then we will place this on top of the Rich Raspberry panel. Actually, on the sample, I see that I put this on the Rich Raspberry and then wrapped the thread around both, but either way is fine. And then we'll put this on our Smoky Slate card base with dimensionals. Okay, so I like to push my dimensionals down in the middle. That just seems to help get the backs off a little bit easier. Okay, I'll place this on the front. Okay, now we'll move on to our art piece. So I'm using a piece of Whisper White that is 2 3/4 by 3.5 inches. And we will use the little kind of a rose looking image for this. Now I'm going to use 3 markers for this one. I'm going to use first Sweet Sugar Plum, then Rich Raspberry, and then Basic Gray. So I'm going to use the side of the brush tip of the marker and color in the flowers in Sweet Sugar Plum first. And then using the Rich Raspberry, I'm just going to go over kind of the middle of the flowers and maybe a few little accents on the edges. And then the stems in the Basic Black. Okay, then breathe on that. And I actually should have done that before I colored it. I'm just going to straighten that stem out. It won't stay very well, but it will stay long enough to do what you want to do. Okay, now while I've got this stamp, I'm just going to breathe out in again and stamp the inside of my card. So it comes out lighter, but it's still worthy of our project. And I'm just going to do this one more time quickly. So you do need to color it all in completely again, just like you're using ink pads. You've got to ink up every time to get a strong image. And then breathe again. Now this one I'm gonna go off to the side, but I'll make sure those stems almost touch. Anyway, I meant to have them touch, but that's good enough. And then I will do the same thing, stamp a second generation, and this is on the envelope this time. So those are ready to go. Okay, then I'm going to create these little mountains kind of along the bottom. So how I've done that is I've used some Post-it notes that they're 100% sticky on the back, as in they're sticky all over, or if you have traditional Post-it notes, you could just cut on the bit that's got the sticky on it. Actually, I'm going to turn that to the side like this. Now I'm going to use the new sponge brayer. I really have been enjoying this, and I'm going to use Smoky Slate first. It's very forgiving, so I'm just going to ink that up and sponge. And you'll need to do multiple layers because the sponge doesn't actually pick up very much ink, which is fine. Okay, I think that will be fine for the Smoky Slate part. And we'll pull that off. Okay, and then I've cut a second Post-it note. So you're doing the reverse image. It's a little bit of a brain teaser at first. And I'm just going to move that one down a bit. And then I'll do another layer with the basic gray this time. So we're using both of our gray colors. I'm just making that a bit darker along the bottom. Okay. Okay, then from there I will use the little Chinese symbols in the rich raspberry, and just make sure I've got them right side up. And I'm just going to do this along the side of the project, just one after the other. And this particular image, I'm told, means faith in God. Okay. And actually, while I've got that out, I'm just going to put one on the card front as well. I mean, card, not front, the inside. All right, then another couple things we're going to do to this little front piece. I'm going to silver emboss the bamboo image. So we'll use the Versamark. First, use the Emboss Buddy. Use the Versamark. Now I want this one to kind of come up in between the flowers, but not sort of cover the flowers too much. So I'm going to pull it down and there. And then we'll use the silver embossing powder. So you see it's kind of down a little bit further, so the flowers are still prominent. We'll just heat that up. Oops. Okay, so you see that that's nice and shiny and gives some dimension a little bit to the project as well. We'll use the clear Wink of Stella. I'm just going to use a little bit of it just to add just a little tiny bit to those flowers. Okay, now we'll just mat that onto our, let's see, I've got rich raspberry. First, I think it's nice to mat your focal image first on the color that is your flowers, or your kind of your main color, the color you want to bring out. And then we'll mat that again onto the Smoky Slate. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Then this can go on our card front dimensionals. Okay, so like so, and then just a couple little things. I'm going to do a little bit of a knot of the Sweet Sugar Plum ribbon. This is a lovely color. If you've got rich raspberry, that color would work as well. So just cut that off neatly. That one's a little bit longer. Okay, then using a glue dot, we'll just glue that, or adhere that kind of where the flowers join. That kind of covers any awkward joining position. And then last thing, this is not something I put on the sample, but something that I thought would be nice is maybe add just a little pearl right where the stems and the flowers meet. Maybe do the medium ones on the big ones and the tiny, tiny pearls on the little buds. I think that's nice. I think Asian projects go quite well with the pearls. And then we'll just put the stamped inside piece inside the card. All right, and there you are. There is your finished project. I hope you give this a try, and thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.